Hi everybody, I'm Ed.
And I'm Barb.
And we're the Streeters.
Welcome to the ARTyRV Livestream tonight, where we answer all your questions about stained glass.
Hey everybody, nice to see everybody. We got a full room again tonight. That's awesome. A lot of our fan club members are here tonight, and a lot of new people tuning in for the first time. So welcome.
Welcome everyone. I am happy to see everyone. I'm seeing new people here, and I'm wondering where Ray, I need your help.
I see where Ray is.
Ray, I need your help.
Hey, buddy. I hope you had a good time last week.
Okay. All right. No, I don't. Never mind. I'm kind of confused.
We have a full room, a full chat room tonight, and everybody, you keep coming in, and we're happy to have you. So, hey, we've got it going on. I want y'all. I don't know if you notice anything behind us, but Barbara has done a little renovating on our YouTube studio, and I think if everybody'd like to give Barbara a thumbs up, I think it looks fantastic. So your view should be even more fantastic.
Yeah, what confused me was Stephanie on here. Stephanie, moderator, just to clear things up. She's not a moderator of our channel, so that's what confused me. I was like, who is that? But I see that's your name, so just to clear that up for me and everybody else.
Got her all confused there, Stephanie.
Okay, welcome everyone.
Oh, so good to see everybody out there tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a great great glass chat for you tonight. Something brand new that everybody's been asking about. We're going to talk about that tonight. And Ray's giving us lots of thumbs up, and everybody give Ray a thumbs up because he works really hard to make sure that our channel stays nice and clean and rated G.
On point. On point.
On point. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, thanks for all your help. And while we're thanking people, let's go ahead and thank Sunshine Glass for their sponsorship.
Sure. Yeah, we want to thank Sunshine Glass, and don't forget, Sunshine is a sponsor of our show, and we really appreciate it. And if you guys need any kind of tools or glass or anything like that, or even just a little bit of knowledge that you have a question midweek and you haven't gotten it to us, give Sunshine a call. Remember, not only do they handle all your hand tools that you need to work, but they also handle over 1,500 different colors and textures of glass there at Sunshine. Give them a call and tell them Barb and Ed sent you.
So it's really great to have a full house tonight. Welcome, everyone. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. If you're watching this on the rerun, welcome. We do this every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You're welcome to watch it on the reruns. That'll be 24/7.
That's right. Yeah, so remember, we are running live here on Monday nights at 7 p.m., and that's Eastern Time, y'all. But you can watch the reruns. They're always there. So if you miss something and you need to go back, please go ahead and check it out.
So everybody's in a good mood tonight.
It's a beautiful day in our nation.
Yes, it is. I'm going to go ahead and start. We had a question from, let's see, Lena had a question.
Hey, Lena.
She wanted to know, can old patina be removed and new patina be added? If so, how is it done?
Normally, the best way to, you're changing the solder with a chemical, so you're changing it, but you can usually you can steel wool the old patina off. It takes a little bit of time if you're doing copper foil, and then you can clean it and then repatina it, and it usually works pretty well. Now, if the solder that was used previously is at 60/40 and you're hoping it's going to turn really black, but they used 50/50, if it's something you're just repairing or something, Lena, it may not turn as dark black if it's 50/50 solder. But yeah, you can steel wool it, get it off of there, clean it up, and put it back on, and it should be fine.
Yeah, we've
Done
done
it to lamps all the time. Yeah, we do it to lamps all the time.
And we get restorations in, we have to do it.
Yeah, we have to do it. So.
Yeah, just keep steel wool in your
Well, y'all, the window that was found on the side of the road was a big hit when we delivered it last week. So.
Magali said, "Oh no, our comfy red chairs are gone." Yeah, that's right, Magali.
Actually, Magali,
they were terrible.
These chairs are more comfortable.
She's just joking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we'll go, but woo, Sunshine got a long time on that one.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. If you have a question, just put it in the chat with a Q, and we'll be happy to answer it.
Yeah. And Barb, I was thinking about a lot of different things, and we're getting this weekend coming up is our last make and take class for the season.
Right.
And then we'll start our other classes, our beginner stained glass class and our lead class. A beginner stained glass will be coming up in January, and we'll have our lead class coming up in February.
And that's on site.
Right, that's on site here at the Conway Glass Studios.
The beginner class is already posted online, so if you need to make plans,
and you'd like to join us for the beginner
I think
class.
There's maybe 3 or 4 openings. No,
Three.
3 openings. For
Three
that.
openings, yeah, because we only take 4 people for that particular class because we want everybody to learn as much as they possibly can in that weekend, and we really spend a lot of time on learning how to cut glass and how to work with the glass, because that's a thing that everybody has trouble with, is cutting the glass and then soldering. And Barbara popped out a video earlier this week about how to do the touch and go soldering, and apparently it helps a lot of you. So, and thank you for the wonderful comments for that video, and I'm glad that it is helping every one of you. So.
A lot of people from Ohio tonight.
Yeah, well, hey, Ohio, welcome.
So welcome everyone.
Welcome, everybody. And Magali, I was going to say, hon, these chairs that we have, they're actually more comfortable. Definitely more comfortable for my hip. So
yeah, he was having a hard time in those.
I couldn't get I was real fidgety in the other chair, so I'm very comfortable here. So
okay, Karen, I'm going to go ahead and put you up for that lead class. Tell Denver we said hello too.
Yeah. Just go ahead.
Just reminding him.
Yeah. Just reminding him.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so the studio looks really nice that Barb has been working hard on this week, and she was able to get out a video, and then we have another couple of videos that are getting ready to come back out. So
I didn't get a video. I didn't get a long form video out.
not this week, no.
I'm still working on it.
Right.
And a couple shorts. Been working, trying to get the studio set up. And that's a work in progress.
Well,
So-
it is because we're ever changing, and then a little earlier today, Miss Mary's walking down the hallway, and she was kind of walking and scratching her face. Well, come to find out, she did let me look at her mouth where she was playing with it, and she has a cavity. So Miss Mary has to go to the dentist tomorrow, and she's not real happy about that. So you don't see her a lot tonight because she's feeling rather puny. So hugs and thumbs up to Miss Mary tonight, everybody, because she's feeling puny.
Yeah, she's not feeling too good. She's going to the doctor in the morning. Okay, let's see. Ella had a question. Now, is there okay. What grit steel wool?
Like a double lot, 2-0.
That's Chasseray.
Yeah, a
Okay,
2-0 Chasseray. Just it doesn't need to be real rough. You just want to get it, and it will take it off of there. So.
Okay, and had another question from Ella. She says that she can cut thin glass like hobby glass just fine, but has problem with the thicker Wismac glass.
The thicker Wismac glass.
Probably maybe textured, and it is a little bit thicker than.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is it's it's kind of when you're cutting, you're used to cutting like thin glass, and if you're if you're practicing on window glass, of course, Ella, that's going to be the easiest glass to cut anyway. But now if you're using the Wismac glass and you're having trouble and it may be a little bit textured, sometimes what happens is it gives you the illusion that it's going to be harder to cut, so you end up putting more pressure on your glass cutter, and you really don't need to put any more pressure on your glass cutter when you're cutting the Wismac glass than you do when you're cutting the window glass. And see if that helps you out a little bit. Just put the same amount of pressure as you do on your window glass when you're practicing on that, and try cutting your Wismac that way and see if that helps. I hope it does.
Okay. Paige wants to know, do you put wax on top of black patina to protect it?
Well, most copper foil pieces are finished that way, so the answer to that would be yes. You can put the wax after you put the patina on, clean it real well, and then wax everything, and make sure that you get all of the wax off, because you'll think that your solder is oxidizing when it's turning white, but it's actually wax that you neglected to remove from the piece when you cleaned it. So please, everybody, just make sure that once you wax your finished copper foil piece, is you remove all the wax thoroughly.
Nicole has a question about this along the same lines. When I finish a patina and then go to clean the piece, the patina dulls and changes color, what am I doing wrong?
Well, make sure, number one, make sure that you're using 60-40 solder, because the patina or the solder will turn really jet black at that point. If you're using 50-50 solder and then you patina it and then clean it, it's going to look more like pewter. But if you use the 60-40 solder, the patina darkens the solder twice as dark almost, and then it stays darker. But yeah, it's going to lighten up a little bit when you wash it, but it's not going to lighten up that much. Or it shouldn't lighten up that much.
Larry Mary.
Hey, man.
25 days until the balloon festival.
I know, we just flipped over, to September on the calendar.
Looking at that. Larry, if you'd like to put the name of the balloon festival and the location in the chat, you're welcome to do that, because that's coming up October, I believe. So
Yeah,
if you'll
please
do
do.
that, maybe the algorithm will find it and bookmark it for us. But go ahead and put that address of the Balloon Festival in the chat so everyone knows where it's at.
Right. And we, like I said, we flipped the calendar over to September, and I was just those September is really exciting as far as photographs of the balloons. Thank you for the calendar, Larry.
Thanks for the reminder. Yes, and and you can put the dates in there too. No, that would be cool.
Yep.
All right, I'm looking for questions.
So remember, everybody, if you're watching this live stream later on down the road, it happens every Monday night, not just Monday nights when we feel like it. It happens every Monday night at 7 p.m. And we invite you to join us with your questions or even some of your theories about how things work in the stained glass industry. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget, if you haven't taken the time to subscribe to our channel, please do so and give us a thumbs up, because remember, the thumb is one of our favorite fingers.
That just sounds wrong. There's something just so wrong about that. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Glasslight wants to know if you have any tips to get the wax out of tight corners.
You really, if you can, when you're waxing your pieces to finish them, and you get in you really need to buff that out of there. So believe it or not, you can get one of those foam buffing pads like you would buff your vehicle with, and
I think he's talking about copper foil pieces.
Yeah, well, you can buff the wax off of them. You would need to buff it. That's a lot of the.
Just be careful.
Yeah, a lot of the things that people not a whole buffer, just the pad.
Oh, okay.
Just the pad to make sure that you get it clean, because it kind of acts like a scrubbing brush, but it also polishes. So.
Okay. All right.
And a lot again, what happens when you don't get the wax off of your piece correctly, you think that it's oxidizing, and it's actually the water or moisture getting to the wax and turning it white. So.
Okay, I think I answered Ella's question. I see someone's. Tommy wants to know who are our suppliers. They're in Alabama. Who are their suppliers?
In Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where you have access to glass that way, but
Certainly you can call
certainly
Sunshine.
you can call Sunshine, and they ship all over the country. And believe it or not, shipping is quite reasonable. If you need large sheets, they'll crate it and freight it to you, or if you just need 32 by 42s cut up, and they'll ship it to you. And you know what? We unpacked a box just the other week, and we don't ever have any problems when Sunshine ships us glass, y'all. So.
And so, if anyone is in the Alabama area,
And has a supplier down that way.
please put it in the chat. Just put the name of the supplier in the chat, just the name.
Now you used to have a
Stained glass.
supplier in Tennessee right above you, but they're not in business any longer.
Okay, Ella has a question. Does the more expensive cutter cut better than the cheap one?
Well, what do you mean by cheap, Ella? Do you mean the inexpensive little metal ball handled cutter versus, say, the brass handle cutter or the
Yes.
pistol grip cutter, I guess? Yeah, they do, but they also last longer. But the wheels are carbide instead of steel on the nicer glass cutters. You're going to pay. I would venture to say a nice glass cutter today is under $30, but more than $20. So somewhere in that $20 to $30 range, you should be able to buy a really decent glass cutter that should last you a long time. Now, Ed's been using his cutter. This is a Toyo brass cutter, and I've had it for a long time. It's been in my pocket for over 20 years. And I use this glass cutter every day, whether I'm doing stained glass or I'm cutting tabletops or mirrors for someone, I use that same cutter. So it does pay to buy a little better cutter, I think. But if you're just starting out, the glass cutter that has the ball on the back end of it, I used that cutter the entire time I worked for other glass companies in the commercial industry cutting glass. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the brass one you'll find will last you a little bit longer. And I think the weight of it feels better in your hand. Don't you, Barb? The weight of a cutter?
Yeah.
Just feels better.
The little cutter, the little one you buy at the hardware store, it's not very comfortable in your hand over a long period of time.
Right.
Your hand will get very tired.
You know, because that cutter handle hasn't changed in 100 years.
No.
It's been the same way.
Yeah.
It's been the same exact way.
Okay, we have a question from Ron. And Ron wants to know, is 60 by 30 too large to do in copper foil for a window?
It's pretty big, Ron. It's not too large, but I think you may have a little bit of trouble moving it. You could always split it and incorporate where you need to split it in the design. 30 by 30 is a pretty good size piece of glass. You know, it's not quite 9 square feet. It's about 7 and some change. But yeah, so, you know, if you're going to 7.5, because you got like, 15 square feet for the whole window. But I think I would, if you have an easy way to flip it, and then it's going to be installed and has a really nice wide stop to hold it in the frame, I think you should be fine. But on that size window, you definitely would want to reinforce it as well, I think. So.
Okay. Jerby Jerb.
Hey, man.
Oh, wait a minute. I skipped. Well, let me do Jerby Jerb and then I'll
Skippy.
go back. Short term and long term. How long, this is from Jerby Jerb, how long is too long to leave copper foil out in open room temperature air? What about solder spools?
Solder spools you don't have trouble with. They're going to oxidize that lead, that solder, lead and tin's going to oxidize a little bit. Now, on the other hand, I've never timed it, but in the humidity in South Carolina, copper foil doesn't last out very long. We bag everything when we're not using it. So
yeah, just
Ziploc bag it.
Ziploc baggies.
I haven't timed it, but I'm guessing in the humidity in South Carolina, it's not going to last very long.
And really, you don't even have to close them up. Just keep them in there, keep the dust off, keep the humidity down.
Yeah, just
wrap
keep
them
it
up
down.
and throw them in there.
Yep.
Yep, good idea.
Yeah, because after classes, we just pull them out, tape them, put them in a baggie, and put them in the shelf.
I got some open back there I've been worried about.
Oh, that's right, for the video.
Yeah, I do. Okay. Carol wants to know. Carol is a new member.
Hey, Carol.
Welcome, Carol. Any tips on patina on zinc frames?
Man.
I think we have a video.
Yeah, I think we talk about it. Here's the thing, Carol. And Carol, by the way, welcome to the channel. And so the thing about zinc, Carol, is it has to be cleaned really well because it's an extruded metal, just like the lead is and everything else. But the zinc has to be cleaned because the oil on it won't allow you to patina it. But then what you want to do after you've cleaned it really well is that you get the patina that's made for zinc, okay? Get the patina that's made for zinc patina. And but I think the cleaning process, Carol, is the most important. But then you're going to need the black zinc patina to paint the or to change the color of your outside frame. So.
Okay.
A lot of people tape that off and spray paint it black and all that. Just get the patina that's made for zinc, and make sure that you clean the zinc really well, not only by using your steel wool, but use like xylene or acetone, something to break that oil down and get it off of that metal, and it'll turn out really pretty if you'll do it right. So.
Yeah, if you'll follow those steps. And we have a video on that. It won't look as dark as the
you think it does,
60-40 solder does, but it will be darker. So I had a question, and don't know if it's down here or I missed it up further. How to patina copper. How to patina, was it copper? Okay, let me go to Michelle's question and I'll find that
Michelle.
other one. Can you use a toothbrush to buff off the wax?
You better believe it. Use a soft one. That's great.
And then Jules said electric toothbrush works well to remove it.
There you go.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, man. That's not just for teeth.
There you go. That's good. That's good. I like it when y'all get together and answer your questions.
That's like I call my little thing. I tell Barb I need to go pressure wash my teeth. My little tooth cleaner thing, plaque remover. I call that my pressure washer.
Okay, Michelle wants to know: is the process for copper patina different than from black patina?
No, it just all has to be clean, and you'll see that the copper patina is going to turn like a coppery champagne pink color, and it's really not that bad if it's done correctly. It looks good.
Okay, I know there was a Tommy, I found it. How to patina brass.
Okay, and then there's a question directly below that we'll take next, right? Tommy, hey, thanks for tuning in tonight. So the way you patina brass is like this. So let's pretend we're gonna use a brass vase cap for a lamp. Okay, they're brass. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna steel wool it and clean it up really well, and then we're gonna take a cap full of black patina, and then we're gonna take a little packet. Doesn't have to be a packet. You can use just a tiny bit of salt from the kitchen, but you know about as much salt that comes in a little packet from the little sport thing, the fast food thing, the little salt thing, that goes in the black patina. Now after you've cleaned that brass, make that mixture with black patina and salt, and then take your patina brush and brush it on the brass, and it will turn just really nice, even jet black. It'll be pretty. The salt is what's oxidizing the brass. So.
And as to the zinc, Larry Mary says gun bluing works well. On zinc.
You know what, Larry? I don't do guns, so I wouldn't have thought about that. But that's great. That is a great. I can see where that would work. You bet.
And Ray put up the video for the zinc, for the patina, the zinc.
Oh, for Carol. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
so
great.
That's there.
That's great. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. Okay, another question. We mentioned a lead class in February. No. There was a question. Was it less about glass blowing? Was that less?
Yeah, that was right.
Well, was it less?
It was right below the other one that we just answered.
Okay. Glass blowing classes are full for right now, and we will have some after the first of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was less.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now I'm lost again. Shouldn't have gone back.
Yeah. I think you're like right in there somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, Debbie. We mentioned a lead class in February. I will have that lead class up soon. It's not online yet. Give me a week or so, and we'll have that lead class up.
Right.
We haven't set the date.
And we're only taking 4 people in that class too. So.
Sign up for the newsletter, and you'll know first when that's listed.
Yeah.
As soon as I list the classes, the newsletter goes out.
And really, the only prerequisite you need for that class is you need to know how to cut glass really proficient, because we don't spend very little time on learning how to cut glass. It's not a glass cutting class. It's a fabrication class.
Let's see. Pauline, when you were cutting that oval, it was pushing down on the other side. Is that to make the run faster?
Yeah, I'm pulling down on it and chasing the run, and I'm following the run, just staying behind it, and I'm pulling down. And then, if you notice, after I've got it broken, I go around and I push down, and that's when you hear that pop. And what that is the glass breaking another direction, which allows it to come out of the oval. So, yeah, it's pretty.
Pauline wanted to know when we were going to use the glass, the drapery glass. Pauline, that's the next window going on the table, but right now he's got one more window to finish before he can.
I'm almost there. I got 39 pieces, but who's counting?
And then we'll have the video on the installation. We'll have one more video, the 8th video of the Merle's Inlet project, and then the 9th video will be the installation video.
Oh, the salad bar.
So those are coming up. We got a full slate of videos coming up for the fall. We're so excited.
I
We're
know.
very excited.
Well, we're very excited too, Barb, about how everybody tunes in on Monday nights and has their questions for us, and it gives us an opportunity to answer them and meet all these new people. It's so great.
Nicole has a question. Have you ever used wire around the edge of a sun catcher for stability? If so, what gauge wire?
I use it all the time around the sun catcher, and I recommend that you should use it to stabilize your sun catchers anyway. So what I do is I use 20 gauge pre-tinned copper wire, and you can purchase that from our channel on our shopping page, or you can give Sunshine a call and they stock it, and it comes in 1 pound or quarter-pound rolls. So you just want to use the smallest diameter that you can, because it makes it easy when you're running it around. But let me tell you, that little tiny bit of wire will make that sun catcher last forever, and your customers will never bring them back to be fixed. That's the beauty of that.
The Patina for zinc video, the link is up. Thank you, Ray. And the 4 best patina tips for stained glass is up as well.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. We appreciate that. Les Cole wanted to know, the piece of glass that you reworked had reinforcement last week, but when you reworked it, it looked like you did not put any reinforcement.
No, I didn't, Les, because I installed it into a frame, and it was supported all the way around, and it didn't need be. You know, this was that window. That window was about 10 feet up, and it was the third section of a 4-section window. So because of all the weight that was on top of that, it really needed it. But typically, on a residential application where you're just putting it in a frame, the customer is hanging it, and you don't need to worry about any wind loads or anything on it either, Les. So that's another thing too. I wasn't concerned about wind loads, and I didn't have to put any protective glass in front of it, and I didn't also have to worry about it sagging. So.
And that window was originally in a working window.
Yeah, that was an operable section of the window. That was really wild. So
that would definitely need to have reinforcement because it's being moved.
I did save those bars though, and I don't know why, but I saved them.
Maybe one day you'll need them for something, right?
I hope not.
I hope not either. Throw them away.
I hope not.
Okay.
Please, please.
Okay, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer. So, I think, Ed, we're ready for
a glass chat.
A glass chat. Ed has something exciting.
Well, yeah, I'm going to share something with you. Let's just leave this camera. Yeah, a couple things, but
okay. Well, tell me when you want to change. Hi, Maureen.
So, yeah, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. And remember, this is East Coast time. We're on East Coast time. So we're going to talk to you about a couple different things. One thing is brand new, and I'm so tickled that it showed up today. And the other thing is I just want to kind of, we all do copper foil work, and I just wanted to share with you guys. There's quite a few different FIDs out there, and they all work well, but they all seem to do different things. These 2 FIDs here, the application using these is not only copper foil, these are universal. This actually is a lead not a stretcher, but a straightener, and also what it does is I just brought a piece of lead out. So if this lead were crimped, it goes right in there and opens it right up. This one does the same way, except you just tilt it a little bit sideways, and it opens that hard up in there. This is another one that does the same thing. Can you see that? This goes right in and will open that lead. So those of you that get your hobby lead in a roll when it comes in, and then you got to stretch it, and it ends up being a little bit twisted, just remember, your FID is your best friend to get that stuff straightened out and open it up so that you can use it. FIDs are really good for a lot of things. All right, y'all. This is it right here.
We got this in the mail today.
We got this in the mail today from our friends. Okay?
And it's on our Amazon page.
This is on our Amazon page. And you know, we were talking about the difference between a good cutter and a bad cutter. And y'all, I'm going to share this one with you. This is the brand new 2023 Silberschnitt brass handled 135 degree wheel glass cutter. Right out of the box. Right here at the ARTyRV channel. And I haven't used it yet. So you know what we're going to do? Because we surely don't want to mess it up. Look at that brass. Look at that nut. There we go. I'm going to just turn around here. I don't know. We're going to put just a couple drops of oil in here. Now this is my inland water-based glass cutter oil. We're just getting a little bit of it in here. And remember, you know,
I told him I had a little dropper, and he said he didn't need it.
We got it. We just got a little bit in there. We don't need a lot.
Here. Paper towel.
Because what we wanted to do, what we want to do is put enough in there to wet the wick. Okay, and now I'm going to depress. Now I'm going to depress the head. We're going to let some of that oil run down in there and get that wick nice and
And they say to just put in 2 drops of oil, Ed.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, a lot of people ask.
Right.
How much oil do you put in there?
2 drops.
2 drops.
2 drops of oil.
Here, hand that to me. I'll take it.
It's got a hole in it. That's the
Oh,
problem.
let me get it out of the way. Okay.
All right. So, you know, I've had that glass cutter oil for long enough that the plastic bottle has rotted. So
Non-toxic.
non-toxic.
Okay. Let me put it somewhere where it won't ruin anything.
Yeah.
Here,
Hang on.
get that to me.
Hang on. Let's do this. Here you go. Put it inside there. Just drop it down inside of there. Okay. So, and I have not yet cut with this glass cutter. And it comes in a great little tube. In the bottom of the tube, there is an octagon shaped piece of felt. And that is how your glass cutter fits.
Nice to come with a case, right?
Just like that. It doesn't rattle. It's not going to, if it does fall, it is encompassed in some plastic. It's not going anywhere. So let's take this thing out. These are the directions. I want to thank our friends at Bowl. This just tells you how to lubricate it. Mm-hmm. And it also tells you what it is in 17 different languages. But we know what it is because it's a glass cutter. Now let's check the weight. Y'all, the new bowl cutter is heavier than my brass handle. So I've got my tools here, and guess what? Because we're using a Silberschnitt cutter, I'll go ahead and got my Silberschnitt runners. Here we go. Let's try it. Let's see what it sounds like. We're gonna push it. Oh my. Barbara, I think our storefront page on Amazon is going to go crazy. We've got this for a really good price. And you know what?
It's under $30.
It's under $30, and this is sweet. You want to use a good glass cutter, and you want to change the way you're cutting glass? Let's try this one. I'm going to... Wow.
Nice.
So I'm looking at the edge here. I don't think that you can see this. But y'all, there are no
flares.
No flares. There are no little shark's teeth digging down. And let's do this.
I have a few questions about that.
Let's try a piece of opal glass. Here we go. I'm pushing. Now remember, I don't change my cutter. Oh, wow. Y'all, Ed might have to retire this bad boy and just put it with the rest of his glass cutters that he's collecting. This one, I think I'm going to start using it. I'm going to start using the Silberschnitt and break it in, because remember what I've always told y'all is if you start out with a new glass cutter, you can dial it in to how you cut glass. And after you've used it for a while, that's exactly what it'll do. You can dial it in to how you cut glass. Okay.
Someone wanted to know the number on that glass cutter. What was the specs on that, real quick?
On what glass cutter?
Your
This one?
new one, yeah. You named something number 23.
It's a 135 degree angle wheel is what it is.
Oh, okay.
So this cutter is good. This cutter cuts glass up to 1/4 inch thick without any problems. Otherwise, the angle on the wheel is exactly the same as this cutter here. And usually y'all, the cutter I've had in my pocket for so long, I can usually cut 3/8 glass with it. And eventually, my Silbersnit glass cutter will give it a try too. But right now, because it's so new, it means that the wheel is hot. So it's not dialed in. It's not like this wheel here. There's a big difference. There's a big difference in that. And I'm going to put the same pressure. Now this will start flaring, okay? Okay, so there's two different cutter wheels there. This one is starting to flake, and this one isn't.
Because it's hot?
Yeah, so this is my new cutter. You can see it, it's starting to flake. And there you go.
Nice cuts.
Those are nice cuts, y'all. So, I'm going to give, you can switch back to the main cam, Barb, please. So, after showing y'all the new Silbersnit brass handled 135 degree wheel cutter,
You're going to give it a thumbs
I'm
up?
going to give it a thumbs up because I just tried it right here in front of everybody. And y'all, if you want to try a new cutter or you need a new cutter, go to our Amazon page. Check
Ray's
it
got
out.
the address.
Ray's got the address. This cutter is under $30. It may change the way you do stained glass. And it, like I said, it's heavier than my brass. I would venture to say this is probably 1/4 ounce or so heavier than this cutter.
And I think
Feel that, Barb. See how it feels.
I know. When I opened it.
So the other thing
like,
that I didn't show
it was
them
so
this.
good on your hand, and then it's got the
Yeah,
little thing at the bottom.
I
This
didn't
is
show
what I
them.
like. It's like
I didn't show them that. Let's go to the close up and show them that. Look at this. Okay, so right here where your fingers are, look at. Okay, so this is textured. Your finger's not going to get tired, y'all. You're not going to have to worry about hanging on. It'll hang on for you.
When you're working out in the studio and it's 100 degrees and your hands are all sweaty.
This is beautiful.
Won't slip off.
You see what I had to do to this cutter to make it comfortable for me. Now, I feel as if, of course, this was great, but the ridges on this cutter head are even better. I love it. This is sweet, y'all. Give it a try. I'm giving it a thumbs up, and if we were rating it on a 1 to 10, I would definitely give it a 10. Yeah. I'm impressed with the Silbersnit brass handle glass cutter. Thank you, Bowl.
I wanted to remind everyone that our 3-year anniversary is coming up in October. I think it'll be the first. No, we're going to be celebrating the second Monday in October.
Right.
And so we're going to be giving away prizes to all of our members. So if you haven't joined as a membership, you might want to join now. We're just going to have a nice little get together, and we're going to put all the members' names in a pile, and we're going to give a bunch of prizes away, little prize packages.
So we're having an anniversary party the second
and
Monday.
that's because we appreciate our members so much. We appreciate all of you guys, but our members help support our channel and keep us going, and we appreciate that so much.
Yeah, and all your super chats and your stickers that you send to us, all of those things help support the ARTyRV channel and allow us to buy new equipment and keep everything updated for y'all so that we can bring you a top quality show, which is what we want to do. So
Yeah, we've got plans for the future, and we appreciate you guys riding along with us. We've come a long way.
Well, yeah, Ellie, you can give this glass cutter a try right here. The Toyo has been around for a long time. I just, I don't know. The silver snit is really comfortable in my hand, and I think you'll like it.
I think you'll like it. I really do. I would say if it were me and I needed to buy a glass cutter and I could choose between the two, I would choose this because it feels ergonomic. It feels like it was designed with your hand in mind.
And you see how that fits in Barbara's hand, and lay your hand on top of mine right there. You see how small her hand is compared to mine? And this just fits in her hand like a glove. And Does
it fit in your hand like a glove?
It fits in my hand like a glove, and look, it goes right up to where I like. It's right where I like it.
The end is heavier, so I'm not sure why.
This is where I hold my cutter, just like this. So Barbara was holding it, and her hand being smaller, but she was still in that same position, except she was down here. And if it's comfortable for her, y'all, it's going to be comfortable for a lot of you. So give it a try, and don't forget, run it on the window glass a while before you put it on your art glass, because it's going to be hot. Make sure you put your correct amount of oil in it, just a few drops. And then I interrupted you, and I'm sorry.
No, talk to your people. You're not interrupting me. Okay. I had a question.
Okay.
Jen wants to know, how often do you clean your grinder to make it last?
You really should clean your grinder. Those of you that use your grinder a lot, you should probably clean it every couple of days. If you use your grinder a little bit, you make a panel or a sun catcher once a week or so, clean your grinder out once a week. What you want to do is make sure that you clean your grinder out before the water has time to evaporate and your glass dust turns to real dust.
And you want to make sure you're able to get your grinder head off.
Yes.
Yeah, don't let that stuff pile up underneath and it's like
So,
cement.
and just a word of wisdom to everybody, the Stainedglass quick fit bit now fits your grinder shafts, and you don't have to worry about that set screw anymore. So
yeah, it fits the inline grinder.
Sunshine has them, and you can buy the 3/4 or the 1-inch bits, and they have 3 different textures. Rough, okay, and fine. And then, but the quick fit bit fits on your inline grinder shaft, and it's so much easier than that set screw. So
Magali would like to thank you for spending the money for her.
Oh, you're welcome, Magali.
For making her spend more money.
No, this is a really Magali.
It's an investment in your future,
yeah,
Magali.
I think you'll like it. I really like the way it fits in my hand. And they don't sponsor our show, and I'm not.
No, they don't sponsor.
They don't sponsor our show. They're not paying me to say that.
And on our Amazon page, say we sell something for $27, we make about $2.70. So we make about 10%, 8 to 10% on every item we sell.
But every
it's
time
not a lot, but we offer that benefit to you guys because we do the research and we, put it out there. You can shop wherever you want, but if you want to know what items we recommend, just go to our Amazon page.
Right. Yeah, because
you don't have to buy anything,
we didn't get this bad boy for free. We bought it, but we needed to share it with you. And let's just say.
Well, they did send these though.
Yeah, no. Now Bowl sent us the silver snit, and we just saw it. And we were like, it was an impulse. We didn't have time to call Bowl.
Someone on the chat said they have a new cutter and they liked it, and we said, well, we're going to get one.
And we have another cutter coming.
One of our members,
we have another cutter coming next week.
What one is that?
The small handled one.
Oh, okay.
The bent handled one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we have another cutter that we're going to share with you guys next Monday night. So don't miss it. But this one you're going to love.
Okay, well, let's see. I've missed. Okay. What is best to clean patina before wax?
Warm, just warm soapy water. If you're using say the Ruby Flux,
baking soda and water.
Yeah, just clean it with baking soda and water. Mm-hmm.
After you wax it, you just polish it with an electric toothbrush.
That's it. You just polish it with your electric toothbrush.
Okay.
Change the heads.
Yeah, an old electric.
An old electric
Not
toothbrush.
your husband's electric.
But you know what? Not your husband's?
No.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it's not your husband's electric toothbrush.
Okay. Yes, we do have a link to the Amazon store. It's in the chat. Ray listed it. Ella was asking.
Oh, well, thank you,
And
Ella.
if you go to the description of the live stream, there's a lot of links to everywhere. Our Instagram, our Amazon store, our Facebook pages, our
website,
page,
our website with all that. We have a shopping page on our website too. And you know, once we start, you know, the holidays are coming up. So once we start making our Christmas ornaments, you know, they'll be available through our store on our website for your purchase and order for Christmas delivery. So.
Mm-hmm. Is the glass cutter the Series 4000?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Okay.
I'm sorry, I meant to tell you all that.
That's what the question was earlier.
Yeah, it's a cutter. It's a Series 4000 narrow head.
Narrow head, yeah. Is the cutter $37.99? Not on our page.
Not
on
on our
our
page.
Amazon page. No, ma'am. Let's see. Go to our Amazon page. It's cheaper. Okay. You were talking earlier about, this is Cindy. You were talking earlier about 20 gauge tinned wire for sun catchers. Were you talking about adding it around your piece or inserting it between the glass to reinforce?
Oh no, you would just like finish your sun catcher. You would just put it all around the piece, and then you know, install your jump ring or your hanger. But yeah, the narrowest wire that they make is either 20 or 22 gauge. They might even have 22 gauge. I might have 22 gauge. I have really thin pre-tinned copper wire that I use. And and which everybody's into recycling, but if you can get, and actually, you know, the copper wire that's in your telephone cord, that's plenty thin enough, but it's not pre-tinned. But anyway.
Oh, I don't know. Let me see. Maybe it went up in price.
It
Maybe
might have.
It is $37.99.
But you know what?
I'll
Here's the
look at
thing.
it,
It's
Ray.
worth it.
Maybe it is. Sorry about that, guys.
It's worth it because just a week ago it was $29.80.
And we couldn't. And then it.
As we said, it was under $30. We said, "Oh wow, that's great. We'll get one. It's under $30." So, but y'all, you know what? Hey, if it's $37, just remember it's a brand new glass cutter, and if you take care of it and keep it in its holster, it won't even come out.
Yes, sir. It is $37.99.
Okay, so it went up.
I'm sorry about that.
It went up. It was $29.80.
Oh, it's the Toyo that's $24.99. So that's the difference. That's the difference. The silver schnit is more.
Right.
The Toyo is more economical, Ella, in case you need to make a decision based on that.
Yeah.
You won't be getting a bad deal.
No, and there's nothing wrong with the Toyo cutter. I have just found a cutter that I want to use for a little while, and we'll give a report on it as I start cutting out the cast net guy.
Yes, Susan, you bought the right one. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yes, it's the right one. Okay. Okay. Let's see. There was someone that said something about a ladybug. I made a 1/2 inch or 2.5 inch ladybug, and it gave me a fit attaching it to tinned wire. She had to end up putting a drop of epoxy on it. Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with attaching things with epoxy. Sometimes you have to.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes you do. I mean, sometimes you just have to go with the flow. And don't blow.
Okay, Magali said she was looking for the mini running pliers. They're on our website. Magali, they're on our website. So if you go to
ConwayGlass.com.
yeah, and go to the ARTyRV page, they're on Ed's Hand Tools. and the mini running pliers are there. We don't have the green ones anymore.
We have the black handled ones.
We
But
have the
there's
black handled ones, but they're the same.
6-inch handles, 6 1/4 inch handles, 6.5. Hang on, let me get them.
Yeah, we keep those in stock here.
Yeah, so Magali, these are the 6.5-inch running pliers that we have now. These are the Leponettes. They have the rubber jaws on them, and I like them because they fit in my hand much better than the 8-inch metal running pliers. But these are the Leponettes. They're really a nice plier. We carry all 3 of the pliers that Leponette makes. So.
Welcome, Julie. It's okay for you to be late.
It's good.
We forgive you. It's good to see you here.
Yeah, thanks. I hope everybody's doing well.
Yes. Any thoughts, any thoughts or recommendations on the Beetle cutter system or any cutters that do angles, straight lines? Beetle cutter system.
You know what? I haven't heard of that yet.
So that's something new. We'll have to
Yeah,
check
so
it out.
Barb and I, back in the late '80s and early to mid '90s, were really big into using the Morton system, and that's still available. And that's a system that does your angles perfect. It does triangles. It has a jig for putting your boxes together and building angles together. So yeah, so the Morton system, if that system that you're talking about is similar, then yes. But the Morton system we're familiar with and have used it, and I see nothing wrong with something that is as good or better than the Morton system. So.
Yes, Ray, that $37.99 is correct.
It's correct, yeah.
Sorry about that. It's the Toyo that's cheaper. Was it $24.99?
$24.99.
For the Toyo.
Yeah.
$37.99 for the Silbersnit. And they're on Amazon.
Keep in mind, y'all, and there's nothing, there's the Toyo isn't made in this country, and the Silbersnit is not made in this country. But remember, the Silbersnit is a German-made tool. Think about that.
Think about it.
Think about it.
I can get those to you, Magali, if they're not there.
If they're not there, Magali, we'll get you a
I'll
pair
get them
out.
up. I'll be working on the website tomorrow and see what the problem is. They should be there.
Yeah.
Problem's probably me, something I've done, but they should be there. All 3 should be there.
Okay, yeah, they should all 3 be there because we have the lead nippers, the grousers, and the grousers. These are the grousers here, and now these are blue handles. I find that I can find these quite easily in my stained glass on my workbenches and everything with the blue handles. So.
Yeah. Okay. Magali, I'll get those up tomorrow.
Barbara has been updating things, and
So I might have.
and it's very positive. You know how it is. I'm computer illiterate, so I don't even understand sometimes what Barbara does, but. I'm happy to be here with her and being part of it. So.
Okay, when I do sun catchers, this is less. When I do sun catchers, I like to put wire around it, like to take a drill and twist it. That's a good idea. It looks good too, right?
And it makes it very decorative, Les. Yeah, buddy. Way to go.
Rick wanted to know what the best way to solder gauge wire, 20 gauge wire around a sun catcher.
Well, the first thing that I usually do is, of course, use the very thinnest wire that you can and pick a point and start it. And then I go around and tack it about every 3/4 of an inch all the way around my sun catcher. And then I'll go back and solder it. And I like to wear a leather glove on one hand while I'm soldering it, and then, use my solder as my little helper. But the leather glove keeps that solder from dripping down the middle of the palm of your hand and many other places. So try that. But I like tacking it and then coming back and finishing it off. So, and remember, as long as you keep that sun catcher or whatever you're working on level, that solder will be level, and you can almost touch and go all the way around your sun catcher. Like a lamp.
Jules wants to know, on the quick bit, are you able to adjust it up and down to utilize the entire ground?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes.
Okay. Someone said Carol had 2 questions, but I'm looking for them and I don't see them. Carol, if you'd like to put those questions together in one, so I don't have to scroll all the way back up because I couldn't find them. So if you want me to answer those questions, type it in again. We have some time. We'll stay here until we get these questions answered.
Sure, we will. We're not going anywhere.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah. So, Pauline, I keep my tools because you live up on the coast in New Jersey. I keep my tools from oxidizing by, if you're going to be working outside, put them in a Ziploc baggie, close it up, and just put a piece of paper towel inside the bag with you. But take them in the house and just grab them every time you come outside. What you'll find is your stuff won't be oxidizing, and because it's important. You don't want to have to put oil on your tools and then get oil all over your hands while you're trying to work. So a simple Ziploc baggie and a little piece of paper towel inside the bag will help you a lot. So
the beetle bits are like the Morton system. So yes, it's a great system. Yes.
Yeah, the Morton system was like, man, you could do so many different things in that. And the little boards that catch your little glass slivers and all that. Man, that's just really nice. So yeah, give it a try, and I'll look it up.
When you twist wire, do you twist 1 strand or 2? I'm not sure what Les is doing, but we usually twist 2.
Yeah, we'll usually twist 2, or we'll fold it in half and twist it. Same difference, two twists, because you want to make it look kind of like a rope, and the heavier gauge wire you use. And remember, you can also twist your lead.
Yeah, we have a video on that. And Ella, we do have a video on soldering wire to sun catchers, but we're going to be doing another soldering video. And coming up soon, and it's going to have everything in one video. So, anyway, you got a lot of work to do, Ed.
I know, that's okay.
Question on the cutter, what do you mean by hot? Carol wants to know.
Well, it's because it's a brand new wheel, and it's gonna be a new glass cutter to you, so you're gonna be finding your pressure, And remember though, if you're using a cutter with a spring-loaded head, just depressing the head is enough pressure to score the glass. But because it's a new cutter, you're gonna be changing the pressure. It's going to happen automatically. You're not even going to realize you're doing it. That's what's going to make it hot, okay? So as you start learning to use that cutter, you get the pressure dialed in the way you need it. That cutter will dial itself in, and you will be on your way to many, many, many miles of glass cutting.
Thank you, Ed. Michelle had a question. Is it true that you're not supposed to use a rheostat with a Weller 100?
What? Who told you that?
But she's having trouble with her iron fluctuating with heat, and that's not
what the problem is. Michelle, is that who that was for? Michelle,
yes.
Michelle, what the problem might be with your Weller 100 P? It's probably a blue one. So if it's a Weller 100. What you're going to need to do is let it cool off and take the tip out of the iron and clean that tip, because
the part that goes
shaft,
down in the shaft, that goes
the shaft, because what's happening is there's stuff on there that's pulling that heat away, and it's giving your iron the fluctuation that you don't need. And also keep in mind, if you're working with a fan and you've got some different air moving in your studio, all of those things come into play. But yeah, you don't not want to use a rheostat with any iron unless it has a rheostat in the handle.
Yeah, you want to use a rheostat with all your irons. And you should be maintaining your temperatures. So do what Ed said. Take that apart, clean it, and that should solve your problem, because they corrode up over time.
Yeah. Yeah, so the head on your soldering iron stays 10, but the junk that builds up inside around the heat on that copper shaft will definitely cause your iron to malfunction a little bit.
And I think that even Michelle, was it last week or the week before. It must have been the week before. We actually took a soldering iron apart and cleaned it.
Right. And we do have a video that shows you how to clean the shaft on your iron tip and also on your iron. So steel wool works really good. Sandpaper, a little bit of just not real rough sandpaper, but you'll see if you'll get that shaft cleaned up on that brass heating element inside your soldering iron, it'll straighten right out for you.
Okay. Do I use art steel wool? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's like double aught steel wool is like your bad boy in your shop. So.
Okay. Pauline, your picture of the woodpecker, please send it to me by email. You sent it to me. I don't know how you sent it. I couldn't find it. I went to Messenger. I went to Facebook. I went to 3 different places. Send it to me by email. Send it to viewershowcase@gmail.com. Or you can send it to Barb at conwayglass.com.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Susan, y'all, the thing about rheostats and we talk about it a lot, and that's okay because we've got new people coming in and we want to help them as much as we've helped the rest of you, and we want the rest of you to help them too, like you do. Our glass community is phenomenal here at the ARTyRV channel, and we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I think we're going to go to a little place called Cookout and get a milkshake.
I have one more question
All
for
right.
Magali. Can I use pieces of regular stained glass and put them into a fusing glass mold? If they're all the same color, yes.
If they're all the same piece of glass, Magali, yes. The answer to that is yes.
Okay, Glasslight wants to know about ammonia.
Please don't use that.
That is technically that is made for people that solder electronics. They use a solder that has a lot of trash in it, and it makes their irons pretty dirty. It's a cheaper solder. It's made for electronics.
It's a rosin core, which means the flux is in it.
So they need that to get the...
Yeah. Please don't use the salmonella bar on your stained glass iron.
That's what we say. Now,
somebody else may say use it.
You may want to use it, but we found that it's not good for the irons. So we're going to go. If there's no more questions, we're going to go, and we thank you all. Thank you so much for being here.
And don't forget, if you're catching this on the rerun, we run live every Monday night, not just when we feel like it. Every Monday night at 7 p.m. here at the ARTyRV channel. Bring your questions, and don't forget about the anniversary party coming up second Monday in October.
Thank you.
Join us.
We really appreciate it. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. Good night.
Thanks, guys.